What is going on, everybody? It is Dylan with Astrodfs, and in today's video, I'm going over the Thursday night showdown between the Raiders and Broncos. We have a divisional game here, and I think a lot of us would agree we would love the Vegas offense to be better than what it is. Uh, Denver, we'd like to see some better play out of Bo Nix for like the first 3 quarters of football. It's a very odd game. Denver coming in at about 9.5 point favorites in this one. A low 40 total. I think it's at 42 right now. And you can see the prices on DraftKings. Only 2 players on this showdown above 10K. It's not great. It's not great on paper. Let's figure out where we can attack this. So Bo Nix, I think is very easy to say this is a guy that you just put in your lineup on an uglier looking slate, right? This could be better, or it could go how we think it is. But we figure Bo Nix is going to be one of the top scorers. He's only 10-6, so it's not a steep price. We do have some values on tonight, so we could definitely get at least 3 of these big names in our lineup tonight pretty easy. So Bo Nix, even at captain, I'm fine with getting it. If you get the top salaried player at 10-6 on a showdown, you're able to be flexible. Genty at 10-2. Now, Genty for the rushing is not ideal in this one. Denver's played running backs really, really good. It's kind of the receiving work that you're hoping he shines in to really benefit for paying that price tag. And he's definitely got a score at that price tag. So I'm not as big on Genty. I love Bowers in this one, even though it's not a great matchup for him. I think Geno Smith is going to do what we saw last week. And when we need a first down, we need a big play, it's going to be relied upon someone like Brock Bowers consistently. Denver's a tough defense, don't get me wrong. It's not the easiest thing to say, hey, Brock Bowers is going to have a good game. But we all hope Brock Bowers does, because we all hope Brock Bowers has a good game. And at 9,800, I prefer him over Ashton Genty at this one. Like I said, Denver's played, their defense is still one of the best defenses against every position. There's not one position that really stands out as like vulnerable against this Denver team. But we have seen this Denver team give up some points in some games. Surtain is still out, so that is a huge blow to that defense, but they're one of the most pressured defenses in the league. If you go and look at just that talent that they have, not only on the defensive line, the linebackers, the safeties, Surtain comes back, having one of the best corners in the league. So I do like Brock Bowers. Courtland Sutton is alike. He is. But at this point, I'd rather get more shares of Troy Franklin in this matchup than Sutton. Like, Sutton's good. I think we are all under the same understanding that Courtland Sutton is very capable of having these 16, 17, 19, 18-point games consistently, and this is a really good matchup for him to get it, right? Playing a zone defense. But someone like Troy Franklin, who in the last 3 games has gotten 10, 8, and 10 targets, obviously the receptions haven't come. We've seen some bad quarterback play, just some disconnection between the two. I'm not going to all blame Bo Nix, because some of it has been Troy Franklin, but at this point, for the touchdown upside, right, Troy Franklin's one of the top, not just on Denver, because he's top on Denver, but in the entire league on red zone targets. I like Troy Franklin, especially the touchdown upside. Marvin Mims is out, so kind of figured Troy Franklin, Sutton have some upside in this one. Trey Tucker. I like Trey Tucker. It's a tough matchup, but with Jacoby Meyers gone, Trey Tucker now, I won't say the number 1 pass catcher, because the number 1 pass catcher is Brock Bowers, but for a wide receiver, he has that, I won't say talent yet, because we haven't seen a whole lot, right? The game against Washington definitely was a hope of what we could see out of Trey Tucker, but I think going forward, he's the number 1 wide receiver on the team. I don't want to say number 1 receiver as in fantasy or in the NFL. I do think Trey Tucker has the capability to get there, but I don't think it's right now, and it is a tough matchup for him. So if you're paying that, like you're paying 600 less than Troy Franklin, who on the other side has a really, really good matchup. So it is tough for Trey Tucker. I do like him. I want some exposure to Trey Tucker tonight in my 150s. But if I'm only doing a handful of lineups, maybe one lineup if I'm doing 5, like maybe one lineup. I don't want to be too high on Trey Tucker at that 7K price tag. So going down, RJ Harvey at 5,600. Actually, I'm sorry, I totally passed him. But J.K. Dobbins at 8,600. I love J.K. Dobbins. If J.K. Dobbins gets a touchdown, the upside for J.K. Dobbins is amazing. Obviously, RJ Harvey is still in a low snap share, so it's not like RJ Harvey's overtaking J.K. Dobbins. J.K. Dobbins is getting a majority. He needs a touchdown to truly pay off. I do think this is a game where he does that. He gets a touchdown. He gets you 70 plus yards, and you're happy with, 16, 17 points out of J.K. Dobbins. But RJ Harvey at 5,600, yes, he's playing very, very good for the amount of work that he is getting. 3 straight games of a touchdown, 6 touchdowns on the season for RJ Harvey. And if you go and look at the volume he's gotten all season, right? 46 rushing attempts. I don't even know. Maybe it would show here. 23 receptions. So 69 total volume, and he's got 6 touchdowns. So it's basically 1 out of every 10 touches he gets is a touchdown. That is just a crazy, crazy number for somebody with that snap share. So RJ Harvey, yes, like the touchdown upside is easily there for RJ Harvey at 5,600. I really, really do like J.K. Dobbins. Plus, you get the Broncos defense, which it looks to be really good. Obviously, you look at kind of their last few matchups, right? The sacks are there: 4 sacks, 2 sacks, 4 sacks. They've given up a good amount of points. They played a hot Giants offense, a hot Dallas offense, which they took care of, but still, 6 fantasy points doesn't really help. And then last week against Houston, 4 sacks, and that's against Mills too. It's not just C.J. Stroud, so kind of struggling. Obviously, this is the best matchup they've had since week 6 against the Jets. So yeah, I'm definitely wanting exposure to the Broncos defense in this one. Will Lutz, kind of the same thing. With the way that Bo Nix has played this season, the way this game on paper looks to be is Denver is going to score, which means Will Lutz is going to benefit, right? Even if Denver doesn't score a touchdown, they should still be in field goal range for Will Lutz. They should be able to successfully move the ball into Vegas territory pretty much every drive. Obviously, it's not, I would assume it doesn't happen, right? And Vegas plays some type of defense. They still have some names on that defense, but Will Lutz, really, 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 really like Will Lutz today. Daniel Carlson, for the upside of where Vegas is going to get points tonight, Daniel Carlson makes sense, right? I think Geno coming off of facing I would say a good Jacksonville defense. I won't say great or elite or top, but I'd say good. Like, they've been a big turnover team, kind of seen them fall off a little bit. But Vegas was able to put up a bunch of points against them, right? They could have possibly won that game if they got their 2-point conversion. They would have won. But they scored 29 points in that game. So Daniel Carlson on that side, right? He only gets 5 in that game. But you've seen some other games where it's closer and Daniel Carlson is included in a lower scoring games, which we've seen. Daniel Carlson definitely is a benefactor of a terrible kind of game script. So definitely love the kickers today. I do really like Will Lutz over Carlson, though. Then Evan Ingram, right? I think the discuss with Evan Ingram that we were all hopeful for of, hey, Evan Ingram on a Sean Payton offense, this is going to be great, and it's been the farthest thing from. I do think this is a really, really good bounce back opportunity for Evan Ingram against this Vegas defense. Definitely want to get exposure with someone like Marvin Mims out. I think the opportunities are going to be there. Not interested in the Raiders defense. Pat Bryant's worth mentioning with Marvin Mims being out as a potential name to look out for. I'm not the biggest on him, but he is going to be on the field quite a bit. Tyler Lockett, same thing, going to be on the field, but tough matchup. But I'm really looking from a value perspective. The 2 other Vegas wide receivers, Thornton Jr. and Besh, one of those 2 guys is going to be on the field the majority of the time. Tyler Lockett's going to be on the field, Trey Tucker, and then you imagine 1 or 2 of these guys. Michael Mayer, I think, is kind of interesting because I would assume with Jacoby Myers traded, the way Vegas is going to play, I would imagine we get a lot of 2 tight end sets tonight. So I would look at Michael Mayer as a potential touchdown upside play tonight if Vegas is able to get down there. Obviously, you have Brock Bowers as kind of your number one target, but I would not be surprised if Michael Mayer scores tonight if given the opportunity. So, but Thornton and Besh, two guys at their price points that I really do like as values. So let's make a lineup for you guys. So let's go captain. I do like Troy Franklin, so let's get him in there. Gotta have Bo Nix. Love Brock Bowers. Let's get J.K. Dobbins and see what we could do. If we get Will Lutz, we're left with 46, and we can get Evan Ingram. So let's switch it up just for the sake of it, and let's go a 4-2 build, and we'll go Daniel Carlson. So, yet again, just an example for you guys. Like I said, I really do like Will Lutz, but for the sake of the video and doing the lineup, didn't want to have a 5-1, even though I think 5-1 is very doable. But if I'm doing a 5-1, I'm probably going to want Denver's defense in there as well. So switch it up, did Bowers and Carlson and 4 Denver players. So hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next one.